Hello, today I'm going to walk you through using the Google Cloud Translate extension in Nintex Workflow Cloud. So what we're going to do today is we're going to translate some text and send it via email. In this example, you'll see I have a start event form that is configured. This is going to have two key pieces of information in it. It's going to have the text that I want to translate as well as the email of the user that I want to send this to. So exiting out of that form, first thing we want to do in the configuration of the workflow is we want to add that translate text action that's now available after uploading the extension. With this, if there are any configuration questions or anything along those lines on how to set up the extension, that's going to be available with the gallery asset itself. For this example, I already have my connection set up, which allows me to be able to interact with that Google API. What you'll see here is that we're actually using the new object support within Nintex extensions. This allows us to be able to define out nested arrays, nested objects. So with this API specifically, what it allows us to do is it allows us to send multiple line items and multiple different pieces of fields that we'd like to be able to translate to. In this example, what I'm going to do, just because it is only one single value, I'm going to add that translate text here onto that item, and then I'm going to specify out my language. So in this example, what I want to do is I want to translate this to Spanish. So we can put in ES there. This is going to be using the ISO 639 codes from the Google Cloud site. You'll be able to see, and it'll be able to show you all of the different languages that it's going to support. In this example, I'm keeping it simple, so we're going to keep it just with that Spanish output. Beyond that, the last thing that we need to do is we need to configure our output. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a variable here, and we'll just name it translated text, and then we'll create and insert that. So now this translated text is going to be available as our output. So now that we have that output that's configured, I can go here and I'm actually going to use a for each loop. The reason why I'm doing that is that I actually want to just capture that information and I want to specify out the details of it. So what I do is I go to my Google Translate field here, I select my data, and then I select my translations, because we're going to have a collection of those values that are going to be set up for us to be able to send out and to be able to capture that data. So now I have my collection, and what I'm able to do now is I can actually set up my email. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do send an email, and we will place that within that loop. If you'd like, we also could just set that as a variable within here and then send the email outside of the loop. For this example though, we're just going to keep it fairly simple. So again, now I'm going to use that start event variable, my email. I'm going to say new translation. And then for the message body, what we're going to do is we're actually going to take that information from that loop for each. So what you'll see is the loop for each now shows up within our variable selector. We'll have our object there. We'll have our current item as well as our index. And that current item will actually give us the rest of that object structure. So what's nice with this is that on that output, it provided a source language as well as the translated text. So if we place that, if we in the initial setup, if we put Spanish in there, if we put German, if we put Mandarin, some other language in there, what it would do is it would show us that detected source language and then convert that still to the language that we specified. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to insert that translated text, and then I will put in source language here just so we can see it, and then I will insert that value as well. And now our workflow is all set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit that publish button, and then we will run that workflow. You can see here I have my form URL. I'm going to click the open in new tab, and I'm going to sign in really quick. This is an authenticated form as I set it up. And then now I'm going to put in my text to translate, and I will send it to my email. Now I'm going to submit that form, and then this is going to kick off the workflow. It's going to do that translation, and then shortly we'll be receiving that email with that information. And here we have our email now. I'm going to pop that open and bring that up here, and you can see we now have that translated text, Donde está la biblioteca? Source language, English. Thank you for your time, and thank you for watching this quick run through on using Google Translate in Nintex Workflow Cloud.